One of the best ways to start your 4-H club meeting is icebreakers and activities so everybody can get energized and get going. We have 4 activities that we're going to share with you today, and one thing that I want everybody to keep in mind is that the best way to make these the most engaging is to have them be led by youth. Let's go!
All right, the first activity I'm going to introduce is the finger adding game. For this, you'll have youth team up in pairs and then have both of them put their hands behind their back. They'll count down from 3, and on 3, they'll put out their hands with some amount of fingers showing. The youth will then add up all of the fingers out, and the first youth to say the correct answer wins. You'll have the one who doesn't win sit down, and then have all the winners play the winners until you have one youth left.
3, 2, 1.
12. I win.
Madison won.
3, 2, 1.
10.
I win.
As you saw in that example, Madison and Marcy played a round where Madison added up the fingers first and won. Then Madison played a second person and also added up the amount of fingers first. So Madison was the ultimate winner.
All right, so our next activity is called Super Funky Chicken. For this activity, you will have the youth make a circle. In this circle, each youth will become an egg. From that, they will find a partner. They will play rock, paper, scissors. The winner of rock, paper, scissors will then evolve into a chick. So they will then find another chick in the circle and play rock, paper, scissors, where the winner will evolve into a chicken. When you're a chicken, you will find another chicken to play rock, paper, scissors with. Whoever wins that will become the super funky chicken. The super funky chickens will then find each other, play rock, paper, scissors again to get the ultimate super funky chicken. That person will then run to the room, shout it to the rooftop, "I'm the super funky chicken!" And that is your winner of the game. So, if in my first round I was the egg who did not win rock, paper, scissors, I will continue to find eggs and to continue to evolve until I reach super funky chicken.
Super funky chicken.
For this example, our egg did become a super funky chicken to demonstrate the game for you. We hope you enjoy playing this activity with your club.
The next activity we're going to share with you is the shared art experience. For this, you'll divide your youth up into equal numbered groups and give each group a piece of paper and something to draw with. In the groups, the youth will start drawing. They'll get 30 seconds, and one youth will start drawing on the piece of paper whatever they want, but they can't tell anybody else what they're drawing. After 30 seconds, they'll pass their piece of paper to the next person, and that youth will continue their drawing whatever they want for the next 30 seconds. This will continue until all the youth have had at least one turn with the paper, or you can go longer depending on the amount of time that you have. When you're done, have each group share their creations with everybody else.
In the picture that our team created, we have an apple tree with a person standing under it saying, "Help," because there's lightning and storm clouds and it's raining black and red acid, and he doesn't want to get his goat messed up. Over here we have a person trying to do a science experiment with a kite and a key similar to Benjamin Franklin, who invented electricity. He didn't invent it, but he discovered electricity with this experiment, and someone's trying to recreate that. And over here, because it's raining, flowers were able to bloom. And in the sky, the thunder is screaming, "Ah! It's raining!"
Perfect. Thank you for sharing.
The last activity, and if we're being honest, the most fun, brings together the 3 4-H F's: fun, food, and friends. For this challenge, which is called the Grilled Cheese Challenge, you will need to be prepared by knowing how many members are going to join your club meeting. That way you can determine how many different groups you'll have. You'll want about 3 to 4 members in each group. Based on the number of groups you'll have, you'll need to purchase that many different kinds of bread. In our example here, we have 12 grain, flatbread, Italian, and sourdough. Get as crazy as you want. We've done it before with vanilla brioche. You will also need a lot of different options of cheese. Here we have mozzarella, roasted garlic, tomato with basil. Think creatively, and a really good place to get all this stuff is Aldi's. You will also need a variety of produce, so think fruits and vegetables, onions or herbs. You can get creative with this. And then lastly, you will need a bunch of different spreads or jams and seasonings. Beyond the grocery items, you're going to need paper plates, a buzzer if you have access to one, a griddle, cutting boards, knives, spatula, butter with a knife to spread it, paper, and markers. You'll need this amount of things for each group. Keep that in mind. So at your club meeting, you will split your group up. There's many different ways to do that. You determine the best way for you. And keep in mind, we want 3 to 4 members in each group. Once you're in your groups, we're going to do trivia questions for each group. Whichever group answers the question first will get to come up and pick their bread first. Once everybody has bread, we'll do the same trivia cycles for the cheese and then for the produce. As an example,
What do the 4 H's stand for?
head, heart, hands, and health.
Correct. You may pick your bread.
So then I would get to pick my bread. You would ask trivia questions until all of the groups have bread. Then you would move on to your cheese, like we discussed. Once all of the groups have their bread, their cheese, and their produce, then they would go back to their place and start determining what their grilled cheese sandwich is going to look like. All the groups have to use a spread or a seasoning, but that doesn't have to be determined based on trivia questions, and if multiple groups want to use the same thing, that's okay. So in this example, I got the flatbread with the Havarti cheese and avocado. So now I'm going to take this over to my station. At my station, I'm going to work with my group to determine what kind of sandwich we want to make. Keeping in mind, we still have to use a seasoning or a spread. Together, we'll determine what that will look like and start making our grilled cheese. One thing we need to remember is that everybody needs to wash their hands prior to starting their creation and touching the products. We also need to be very careful with this hot griddle. As the grilled cheese are grilling, you and your group will need to determine the name of your sandwich, and you have to make a team flag. Here in our example, we have the Triple M Sandy. So we want to make sure that we put the ingredients on our flag. That way people who have allergies can make sure to avoid them if we weren't able to avoid them in our grocery buying process. Once your grilled cheese is done, you will put it on the cutting board or a clean plate and cut the number of grilled cheese you have into small enough pieces that everybody's able to have at least one. Once that's done, each member that is participating will need to create a divided plate. This is so when you go around to collect a grilled cheese sample from each group, you know where to put it. When all of the grilled cheeses are done and you have your samples, take a seat and use this document to judge each of the grilled cheese. Once everybody's had a chance to sample all of the grilled cheese, have a conversation about different things that you notice, what flavors, what textures, and then it's time for the most exciting part, voting on which team won. This is easy to do, a simple hand-raising vote. Who votes for group 1? Me. And then based on that, you would have your winning team. If you do this with your club, contact us because we have special grilled cheese certificates that you can hand out to the winners. And take a picture and send it to us. We want to know if you've done it. Enjoy making your grilled cheese. If you need griddles for your challenge, contact our office at least 2 weeks in advance so we can check them out for you.
And that's your activities.